10 years. 10 full years. I am honestly struggling to believe that detail. It was 10 years ago this month that I recorded a video over top of this gameplay. I recorded a gameplay commentary talking about how I had gotten an opportunity at the YouTube MCN. It was a company that partnered other YouTube channels, and it was this whole scheme back in the day. But I had an opportunity to go quote-unquote full-time. It wasn't a full-time salaried job, but I had the opportunity to get paid by them enough to supplement my income from the retail job I had at the time and effectively be a full-time YouTuber. Now, I still had the quote-unquote day job part of working for that MCN, but it was YouTube related. I was consulting for other YouTube channels. I was helping partner channels. I was helping manage stuff at the network. So it was all YouTube related and contributing to my education and skill gathering and figuring out what I needed to do to run a full-time channel. I posted this over to my other channel, the Epos Fox channel, on October 3rd, 2014, right after I had just had my last day at my retail job. And I would never work a traditional job again after that until this point so far. It's freaking wild. It has been a crazy journey, and it's hard to believe, like, looking back. So that was 10 years ago. Just 10 years prior, I was in middle school. Actually, yeah, early middle school, having no clue what I was doing, and online video was not really a thing yet. And then 10 years later, I'm going full-time. And 10 years after that, I've been full-time. I've done so many amazing things with regards to traveling for work, going to conventions, meeting so many amazing viewers, collaborating with other creators I never dreamed of collaborating with. And I have a kid. And even weirder is it's hard to imagine that it was only 6 years after this point that seems so far in the past that I would have a kid. Time flies. Time truly flies. I have a video I'm somewhat pairing with this. It may come out a little later as I'm trying to get this out quickly as possible. I have not been gaming for the month of October, just to be clear, as a little digression here. At the start of October, my kiddo had his fall break, so we were out traveling. We went to harvest festivals and traveled the state and went to parks and events and trunk or treats and trick or treats. We did a Minecraft theme trunk or treat for my kiddo at a school, which was awesome. Everyone loved it. He's super obsessed with Minecraft still. That's the only game he plays, but he's obsessed with it. So I pretty much have not played a game at all. I think I've put in one night of Dragon Age with my wife. I've tried to keep up with some Nightwave dailies on Warframe, and I kept up with it when we were really sick for a minute and then never got back to it. I don't think I've played anything else. Like, truly have not even played a game this month. So I haven't really had a whole lot to talk about on this channel, which sucks because the videos were popping off, and I appreciate your all support. We're going to, keep it going forever, but I want to get this out there. Anyway, all that to say, while it may launch the same day, I have a video to pair with this for the main channel where I talk about the tips and kind of survival life lessons I learned through my 10 years of being full-time on YouTube and my 18 total years of being on YouTube in general. And so I definitely recommend go watching that if you want more kind of meta commentary about YouTubing overall. But my one cheesy piece of advice that absolutely would have made me mad, as plenty of people said it back in the day. So if I would have heard it earlier in my career, I'd be like, well, that's bull, that's not helpful, whatever. But it's to stay true to yourself. I've been doing this for 18 years. I've been doing it full time for 10 years. Very rarely have I really gained anything by chasing trends. Maybe a short-term view bump, often not even that. Maybe one video pops off, but then I can't recreate it. And what I sacrificed in the meantime, or the traction that I lost for doing what I truly wanted to do, never wound up being worth it. It rarely is. And especially because the true success that you find in the long term does not come from chasing these quick little trends. It comes from making something great, relatable, connectable, something true to yourself that people want to watch, that people want to subscribe for, that people want to be a part of. And you're not going to do that if you're constantly shifting what you do or how you do it to appeal to these constantly shifting trends. It's like that character. My wife and I just finished a TV show that was way more disappointing than when I watched it about 10 years ago. And one of the characters was completely inconsistent. She was constantly changing for the whims of whatever story of the week or of the few episodes needed to happen. And her character was completely consistent. She had no real character because she was just malleable for all these things. That is what a YouTube channel feels like whenever you're constantly bouncing back and forth or shifting or kind of molding what you do and how you do it for trends, for chasing short-term views, instead of making what your vision is. If you want real success, if you want to survive in this field that is a creative platform, you're going to do so by having a vision and building that vision. Not by seeing what everyone else is doing and thinking, how can I get a piece of that pie? That's kind of the only extra meta kind of, I guess, tip or whatever I wanted to share here. Originally, I'd planned on doing a lot more fanfare for the 10-year anniversary. I've had a Post-it note up by my monitor for months, and everything just kind of got away from me once kiddos started preschool. Like, everything has been wild. I may still do some more awesome stuff, like on stream or whatever, soon. That was a very whistly S. But I just wanted to acknowledge it, to actually make something that acknowledged it instead of being my perfectionist and be like, I have to make an event out of this, and then waiting until it's like 3 months later or something. I want to celebrate the small victories, even if I don't go above and beyond in doing so. I also generally I just want to say thank you. Like, it is crazy to imagine how much my life has changed in the past 10 years and how much it was bettered by being a part of this whole online video thing. But it's not all great. One of the things, like I had my meta tip, this one's more directly gaming related since that's usually what we focus on this channel. In a way, streaming and YouTubing and all of that stuff has kind of damaged my relationship with games. And it's gotten better in recent years as I took a huge step back. But I was a gaming YouTuber first and foremost, way back 18 years ago. Like, I was trying to find ways to share and record my clips. I was uploading my friend's Xfire clips and our Halo Combat Evolved, Counter-Strike 1.6 and Counter-Strike Source and COD 4 and things like that. Trying to get clips uploaded, trying to make cool montages or frag videos as we called them at the time, and whatever. And over time, this is something that relates to my ADHD, but it's something that people who don't have my exact struggles still also struggle with. Over time, the melding of my leisure hobby, which was gaming, my passion hobby, which was YouTubing, and then turning that into a quote-unquote job, absolutely destroyed my relationship with gaming. Because every time I played a game, I needed to be quote-unquote productive and thus record it or turn it into a Let's Play. Every time my wife and I got together, back when they were still my girlfriend and we were just, hanging out, anytime we played stuff, I was just turning it into random Let's Plays and stuff. Even though that wasn't productive, because I wasn't doing full series, we were just doing random one-off videos or whatever. We were having fun at the time, for sure. But it was still that obligation that I felt to record everything, to turn everything into whatever, to constantly try to get the best clips, to alter what I play based on what I think might do well in a video, or to stick with playing something that I wasn't enjoying anymore because it was doing well in a video. I saw so many of the first generation of Call of Duty commentators way back in the early, pre-Machinima days, and then leading into the Machinima days. So many of them just burned out and disappeared forever because they got so tired of playing the same game over and over and over and obsessing over the same game over and over and over and feeling trapped like that's all they could play and post. And that scared me so much early on that I tried to avoid it by going all in on variety. But that relationship with gaming in general was still damaged in the same way, where it was always a job, where I could never just truly disconnect and immerse myself and escape the world anymore. I was always tweaking captures, benchmarking, testing settings, whatever. And it was noise that interfered with the otherwise pure process. When I think back, and I have a whole video with my buddy BBK I want to shoot with this soon, very soon, that we'll talk about this more. But back in the day when I was a more youngling playing Halo with my buds or getting immersed in single-player games or whatever, there was no smartphone with notifications. There was no job. I didn't have a kid. I didn't have big picture life responsibilities. And I wasn't constantly recording everything. And those added layers of intrusion, of just extra parallel processes that you have to deal with in your mind while you're doing this other thing, taints it. It's no longer this pure, just immersive thing. It is something that you are constantly juggling all of these other priorities with. And I just stopped having fun with gaming for a while. That was something I had to deal with behind the scenes since I wasn't making gaming videos anymore on the main channel, or pretty much at all. And I had to really spend a lot of time being intentional with the games I engaged with the ways I engaged with them, and separating that out from work for a little bit before I could restore that relationship. I just want to share that as a bit of like a cautionary tale of perhaps keeping YouTube as a hobby is the way to go if you want to maintain that purity. And otherwise, just know that whenever you make a hobby your job, it changes your relationship with it. And the more you can do to prepare and to be aware of that fact so that you can deal with it responsibly as you go and not just burn out and fizzle out and that whole thing is ruined for you, the better off you will be. I think I could have saved myself a lot of stress, a lot of headaches, a lot of existential crises if I had more experience dealing with these kinds of things, and if I truly had known and accepted up front that that I was no longer sharing something I was passionate about and obsessed with, that by making it my full-time focus, it changes the thing itself. We'll keep talking about this. We'll keep talking about the 10-year anniversary. I am just blown away that it has been 10 years of working full-time on YouTube stuff. I am incredibly grateful for everything I do and I get to do every day, and every one of you that watches. And remember to be kind, rewind.